Hey guys, so the original intro to this video, which I filmed for the video you're watching now, was done very poorly. I didn't really explain many things better as far as, on the carburetor rebuild. This video actually takes place after I've already rebuilt this carburetor and put it on the car, which is running great. But some things to take notice when you're rebuilding the carburetor, okay? So, any electronic parts, let's see, this here and the heating element here on the side of the carburetor, those do not go in the bucket cleaning process, which takes place in this video. But just take that in note. Also, there's this little screw here. I don't know if I can get to it. It's right there. That one, do not take that one out. I will say that you do, but you actually don't. The little baby one, not that one, the baby one. That is preset from the factory. Do not take that out. But just take note, guys. Everything else is in the video. It's fine. And yeah, so like I said, this video takes place, or this intro takes place after I already filmed the video, but just forgot to mention those things. And all right, that's it, guys. Let's get to the video. Also, guys, I started recording this video probably around, gosh, must have been like 11:30 at night. So please excuse the quality of this video. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing, and I apologize. But my video quality is definitely gonna get better in the future, guys. Just bear with me. I'm just starting. But thanks for being here, guys. Let's get on to the video.
All right, guys. So today, in today's video, we're gonna learn how to rebuild a Volkswagen OEM carburetor. This video really only applies to, I think, 30 to 34PICT-3, but all rebuild kits usually are the same. It's relatively the same no matter what pick you have. All that matters is the process that you go through it, disassembling it, making sure you have all the right, turns and stuff. But it's really, bring it over here. It's really, just SOLEX carburetors. As far as like aftermarket carburetors, I don't know much about that as far as rebuilding goes. I'm sure it's the same process, but like I said, Volkswagen OEM, SOLEX, in this case is the 34PICT-3, and let's get started.
Now you may be asking, why would you have to rebuild a carburetor? In my case, my accelerator pump diaphragm exploded, went out. Gas was pouring out everywhere. You may just have an old carburetor you had laying around, and you don't want to put it on the car and see if it doesn't work or not. So might as well rebuild it. Rebuilding the carburetor is very easy. It's definitely worth it. A rebuild kit can range from about $8 to $15. Very inexpensive, and it's definitely worth it, guys. Definitely worth it. So if you can rebuild a carburetor, just do it. And I'll guide you guys just to the steps as to what you have to do today as far as rebuilding a carburetor goes. All right, so the items you'll need is obviously your carburetor, your rebuild kit, a nice screwdriver, maybe your toolbox in case you need something else, but you're really only going to need this screwdriver, and a pen, which I'll explain what to use for later. One thing I forgot to mention is it's much easier and honestly just a lot cleaner if you drain the bowl before you start this, because if not, you will get gas all over you and it's gonna suck. Also, go ahead and take this spring off. Just take it off, because most people, they'll start this and they'll be wondering what's going on, and it's the spring. So two things: drain the bowl and take the spring off. All right, guys, as I explained before, most rebuild kits can be used for a variety of different carburetors. This one, in this case, can be used for 28 through 34PICT-3. Now, your rebuild kit may be different. I have this one, luckily, is very detailed. Comes with instructions, removing, disassembly, all that stuff. I have done rebuild kits in the past where it's literally just a diagram. There is no instructions, no description, no all of this stuff. It's literally just a picture of the exploded diagram. So yours may be different than mine, but overall it's going to be the same exact process. So what I explained with the Sharpie, in this case, I'm gonna be using this side because, as I'm saying, I'm rebuilding a 34PICT-3 carburetor. The Sharpie is for writing down how many turns certain screws it took to pull out. So here, let's go here on our carburetor. So these, all right. So this is your idle control. So instead of having to completely start from scratch, what you'll do is you'll look for this on the diagram, in which this case it is right here, number 30, and I believe, what is this, 34? I may be wrong as far as like what the things are, but what you'll do is you'll count how many turns it took to pull out the actual screw and write it down next to the designated screw. The only screws you'll probably have to write down for are these two. Let's see. This one, and there will be about one or two inside the actual carburetor where you will have to, like I said, count how many turns it took to pull it out and just write it down. Just stay on the safer side. Next is I'll just do a time lapse of your rebuilding this carburetor. So let's have some fun. All right, it's important to identify what your kit comes with. In my case, it comes with the top gasket that lays here, but it comes with several because of the different picks that this kit can supply. So you have to look at your old one and then match it with one of the newer ones. Other thing, most rebuild kits only come with the main essentials, the gasket, accelerator pump, float. Sorry, that's not the float. The, gosh, I can't remember the name of this thing right now, but it stops the gas coming into the carburetor. Comes with, the mere basics, a couple gaskets, washers, O-rings for different things. Those are idle jets. But I've seen rebuild kits where they come with literally everything. I mean, they come with a new, the lever here, this bolt, this nut here, comes with all kinds of things. But it's just important to notice what does your rebuild kit come with before you start taking everything apart. In this case, this one did not come with a new float, so I will have to be reusing my old one, which is fine. The float was good, no biggie. But I've seen rebuild kits that come with the float, so it's just important to identify what does your kit come with. All right, as you can see, for the most part, we've got the bottom half pretty much done. Everything's assembled for the next step, which will be coming in a bit. Every screw that needed to be pulled out was pulled out. In case you want to know, it was, let's see, these two. The actual accelerator pump over here. Everything inside of it, really. Leave that on there, that's fine. These two, that one, and was there one in there? Yeah, there was one in there. Because we are going to soak this in a solution, which I'll explain in a bit. So for now, let's put this one aside and let's get on to this one. Now this one is different. You will need, I believe this is a 13 millimeter to pull this off. This is your float cutoff switch. That's what that's called. Just pull that off and then it pretty much open this up and, like I said, pull everything out from there and we'll be done with this half. So let's get going. All right, like I said, this next part is optional, but it's still a great thing to do. Next part is, you can get this at any parts store, really. AutoZone, Advanced Auto, Lowe's, sometimes even, you know, your general parts store, hardware store. It's carburetor parts cleaner. I believe Gunk makes it, Berryman makes it. It's all overall the same thing. It's basically just this big jar of some kind of chemical, and you'll dunk all your entire, all the metal pieces into this. It's gonna resemble the smell, and the look of it will be a lot like gasoline. As you can see, and most of the time they come with this little handy basket for you to put your parts in, and put them in there. That way, you know, you don't have to get your hands in this crap. So what I like to do is I like to pull it out, just make sure there's nothing sitting in the middle, kind of rinse it out, and go on to the next step. So what I like to do first is grab all the little bits from the carburetor and put them in here first. It's just easier that way. You know, start off small, get to the big stuff later. So what I do is set aside over here. And as you can see, I have my float in here. Pretty much anything metal. You do not want to put anything plastic in there because it will deteriorate. So, and they recommend soaking it for about 30 to 45 minutes each. So we'll do this stuff first, and we'll come back. All the little objects in here, and literally all you do is just dunk it right in there. And we're gonna let it sit for about 30 to 45 minutes. We'll come back, pull it out, and then we'll put in the main carburetor parts. Alright, so it's been about 30 minutes, and now we can literally just pull this right out. Just let it drip. And what we'll do is we'll put these in a baggie, and then we'll swap it out and put the actual carburetor parts in there. So we got the top half of the carburetor. Like I said, I like to go from smallest bit to largest bit. Don't ask me why, that's just how I do it. So here we go. Soak this part next. Make sure to have it completely submerged. Put the cap back on so not to evaporate it. And we'll let this one sit for about, probably closer to 45 minutes. I let the smaller bits soak for about 30, but as far as the actual, you know, carburetor parts go, I'm gonna let that soak for about close to 45 minutes. And while that one is soaking, you can come over here and just start, you know, brushing it off. Get a nice soft brush, and just start brushing, cleaning these parts off so that they're ready to go once everything's done. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean these, and we'll be back whenever that one's done to swap out. After letting everything soak, finally, it's time to get it reassembled and get it from this to this. Yep, it's on the car, ready to go. I've actually been running it for about a week now, and it's doing such a fine job, way better than it was beforehand. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, you know, like, comment, subscribe. You know, please leave any comments. I'm really new to this whole YouTube thing, so I'm just getting started, trying to learn things, and just trying to have some fun on the way, guys. So yeah.